The Osage called it the Reign of Terror, once upon a time, long after they'd been forcibly displaced and sold land in the Oklahoma territories deemed barren and unfruitful. The indigenous tribe had discovered oil under the ground and more oil, and still more oil after that. They became rich, like Gatsby-level rich. Then, in the early 1920s, members of the community began suffering from a mysterious wasting illness, and when two Osage citizens were found within a day of each other in 1921, both with gunshot wounds to their heads, it became clear that someone was continuing an American tradition of genocide on a personal level, an adaptation of David Grann's 2017 true crime bestseller. Killers of the Flower Moon would be a big deal regardless of who was making it. That this is the latest from Martin Scorsese, starring both Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, acting together for the first time in one of the director's movies, and the closest thing he's made to a genuine Western, has caused it to be viewed less as a film than as a potential earth-shaking event. A single still of DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone sitting at a table, her staring sideways at him as he blankly stares heavenward, was the only hint we had for months regarding what was in store. Film nerds studied it like the Zapruder footage for clues, anticipation mounted. Questions were abundant. Would it focus more on the community's response to the killings, or the FBI's investigation? Was this going to be Scorsese's corrective to a genre that's done wrong to Native people for over a century? Or would it turn out to be another well-intentioned white savior story? What's the deal with DiCaprio's jaw? We now have answers, and can confirm that the end result was indeed worth the wait, structured as the sort of throwback big-picture epic that characterized ambitious movie-making in the 1970s and early 80s. Killers of the Flower Moon is, at its core, a love story, but it is also a mystery, albeit not one with simplistic whodunit solutions. A highly gothic take on the white-hat horse operas of yesteryear, a star vehicle, featuring a career-best performance from an actor whose talent too often gets eclipsed by his celebrity. A continuation of a sui generis 50-year collaboration between two artists, Kupla guys from Little Italy, and an indictment of white supremacy, then and now. Above all, it's a Martin Scorsese picture, brimming with reverence for a culture that survived a horrible trauma, as it is filled with exhilarating flourishes, film history references, and explorations of the fault line between the sacred and profane, and yes, it's a masterpiece.